Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to the Wheeling Wine and Whiskey Podcast, episode 294, on remote in Hammertown area, we're going to say.
Yeah.
We're going to call this Studio L, Chris. How you doing?
I'm doing really, really well.
Excellent.
How are
Welcome
you?
to the lake bed. I've been here for a few days, soaking it in. It's always fun to get down here. Love it.
Yep.
Lots of shenanigans going on. And we found ourselves at a special little place, circling back with a guest from 5 years ago?
I believe so. Yeah.
Holy crap, Batman. Where'd the time go?
It just keeps on marching on. It's amazing. It's really crazy how all the different events that have happened in the last 5 years, and circling back, having the opportunity to circle back to talk to this gentleman again is super cool.
So without further ado, let's introduce our guest, Cody Waggoner. How you doing, man?
Hey guys.
Welcome to your house.
Yeah, well, yeah. Welcome to Lasertown. You're in my house, and we're gonna have some fun.
Excellent. Yeah, so it was episode 38 was the last time we interviewed you, sitting out front on the porch when you just kind of got things rolling here. Can you believe that?
Holy cow! So you've done like 250 episodes. Mm-hmm. And how many? And that's been five years, right?
5 years.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, one a week.
That's pretty. I mean, that's amazing actually, because most podcasts that I see, they go hard and then they go away wet. You know, they don't.
Yeah.
You guys are like.
We're legit.
Yeah.
We can't race.
Yet.
We can't afford to race or anything, so we figured this is our way into
Well, it's not to afford. You're smart enough not to blow your money on stupid shit.
Okay, there you go. Well, I don't know. I still have rock crawlers and stuff, so I'm not that smart, but yeah. No, it's good to catch back up with you. Thanks for having us back, because I know this is a crazy week for you, and I said, hey, we want to circle back with you early in the week before things get too crazy. We're Sunday. T1 just finished up on the screen. We're watching on the big screen here. So how's things been going, man? What's this been like for you? KOH 2025.
Yeah, let's say so. KOH 2025 has been going quite well. We offer a campground. We'll call it a small gathering at Lasertown.
Okay.
Where I would say the upper what's it called?
Echelon.
Enchilons.
Enchiladas. Upper echelon.
Upper enchiladas like to camp and have a safe place. It's actually been really neat this year. A lot of people are bringing their wives that King of the Hammers.
That's crazy.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, you don't do that.
and their kids.
Right.
So they got their kids, their dogs, their wives. It's really neat just watching. It's just a different atmosphere than outside of this property.
For sure. For sure. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, to think about the different layers of security we had to pass through to get to the front door here, it was pretty pretty amazing.
Sorry to talk over you. Security has definitely stepped up this year. We have more people. We actually have 2 gates because we acquired some more land.
Right.
And if you go to the back gate, as you guys experienced, you don't have credentials to get in. You don't get in.
Got shut down.
So you got to go all the way around to the main gate. And luckily, you're on the list to get in.
Yep.
And you guys made it in.
Well, that was it, because 5 years ago, we just rolled up to the front gate. We manually had to open it. There was a sign, I think, said, please close the gate. And we closed the gate, and we came on in, and we did our podcast. And
wasn't there a sign that said we don't call 911?
Yeah, we don't call 911. We have a backhoe, something to that effect.
Yeah, there was a sign. That sign is somewhere put away. Probably should get it back out. But it's definitely changed because we did acquire 40 more acres to the east of us. And when that happened, that was a thoroughfare for people that want to not pay to get into the event.
Right.
But once we acquired that land, now they come to our gate and they like, oh, what do we do now? Maybe we should go pay, or they go find another way to go around. But we've definitely had some changes. With that property being acquired.
For sure. No, it was awesome back then. So let's talk about some of the changes over the last 5 years. If you can think back, I mean, what's been some of the? I mean, we're in the core house that you had before. It's super bougie inside.
Yeah,
I love the decorations.
Yeah, just oddities, we'll call it. Abnormal stuff that people don't hang on the walls. I like weird things and cool stuff, and to be not be different. I wouldn't say politically correct because there's nothing like that, but it's just cool shit, that you don't normally see.
Right.
I mean, there's a dead cat in the hallway over there, and there's
there's
a haunted doll that is so creepy that you walk by every morning when I come out to the main room, and then you got I think that's a satanic. I'm not satanic, but that's a satanic symbol over there that we burned half burnt, and right next to my beautiful daughters.
It's
so
like a Ouija board thing.
yeah, you got gnomes up in the corner flipping you off.
I love that.
You name it, you
cool.
got it. So, things. Let's see, 5 years. So, well, I was rock crawling 5 years ago. I believe I was competing.
You were competing,
and I kind of got, we'll say, burnt out. I've been doing it for 30 years. And we built a new moon buggy, which is called Moonshine, which is a state-of-the-art moon buggy that we built. Currently, we have Coulter Brassanini. He's 12 years old, driving that in the We Rock competitions. Yes, 12 years old. He's amazing. The Brassanini family is amazing also.
Yeah.
And they're great people. So he's going to be piloting that for 2025. He did that in 24 on the East Coast and West Coast. And he did quite well. So that's what we're doing with the rock crawl. In the 5 years, we acquired a 6100 trophy truck that we've been using as a show truck, because I've learned in life that you can't, if you want to spend all your money and go broke, then do everything. But if you take baby steps and, do what is within your means, that's what you do. So that was considered our show truck.
Okay.
So we got that. It's been a show truck. Can I say it one more time? 3 times.
Show truck.
That we have been taking the shows. And this year, 2025, we're actually going to take it to a desert race and race it. So it's we're really excited. It has, the only concern or issue that we have right now is it does have the Fox live valve on it. Oh. And they pretty much have banned it for the 6100,
really?
So where you can't run it, which is a bunch of bullshit if you ask me, because no one has won on live valve. And yes, it's the everyman class, even though it's still a $3 to $500,000 truck. But they banned it for whatever reason. I think what happened, and I could be all wrong, is other shock companies might be having a say in it, and they're seeing in the unlimited truck class or trophy truck or T1 or whatever the hell they call it these days, that like Christopher Pervoltri and botched that. He just won the King of the Hammers 2025 in the unlimited class with live valve. So I think they're seeing the technology take off, and it's an amazing. I actually get sick, motion sickness, and with this live valve, I don't get motion sickness. So
really,
I'm actually going to take it to a race. Hopefully,
so you're going to drive.
We're going to try. I'm going to try it.
I'm
going to try it. I think I'm still going to have issues going up and over hills and the G-force and stuff, but I'm going to give it a shot. I have to give it a shot. I mean, how many people have a 6100 trophy truck sitting in their stable? So I got to give it a shot, right?
Hell
so
yeah.
If not, then, I have Rodney, who's my crew chief, who works on all my cars. He's very interested in driving it. And, we have people knocking at the door that are professional drivers that want to drive it. So, we're all about racing and having fun and getting Lasernut racing out there. I mean, this is pretty much a form of advertisement marketing that we do, which we make all the trophies for Hammer King of the Hammers. Yep. We make actually all the trophies for Score now. So every driver gets a Score trophy. Sweet. Which is huge, and that's an international deal there. So that's our form of advertisement. The way I look at it is, if I can get, typically they're business owners that are driving these cars, right? Mm-hmm. To put that trophy on their trophy shelf or garage or workshop, and they think of Lasernut, maybe there'll be more work in the future for Lasernut.
And it's they're unique trophies. They're not the stupid bowling trophy with the wooden plaque and stuff, right? They're cool. They're cool, designed for that event and everything. Just like, and you do Ultra 3 trophies too. Let's not discount that either.
Yeah, Ultra 3. Actually, we have them right here, which they're all polished up, ready to go for Ultra 3. We also do the We Rock trophies.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just cool to be able to display what we do, laser cutting.
Trail Prager, that big ass trophy.
Yeah, the big, the huge cup trophy. Right? Yeah, we did that. We wanted to make like a Stanley Cup, type trophy, and now,
Brett could barely pick that thing up last year.
Yeah, we're doing that also. So 6100, that was that. Moon buggy, Coulter's driving that. 4400 class.
Wait. Go back to Moonshine real quick, because you're always pushing the envelope on the rock buggies, and you got some crazy suspension on that. So talk about that for a hot second, because we talked about reversing transfer cases and stuff before, so you don't have the body roll and stuff. Exactly. But now you got suspension that you can adjust on the fly.
Yeah, so you have hydraulic levers that you can actually raise and lower the car, which is really cool. But there's just so much going on in that moon buggy for me. I mean, raising and lowering the car, front dig, rear gear, cutting brakes,
lockers on and off,
rear steer, lockers on and off. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. I mean, it isn't real easy. At least I haven't mastered it.
So that's
yet.
why a 12-year-old Coulter can figure this shit out, because he's like video game.
That's exactly
pretty much. That's what it is.
Mindset, right?
Just give him a PlayStation remote and he just drives the car.
Pretty much. I mean, it actually has PlayStation buttons to adjust the steering.
Really?
Yeah,
no
it's pretty cool.
Right on. Okay, so go on. So you were talking about that.
Yeah. So let's see, what else do we have? So we have the 4400 car,
okay,
which Cameron Steele has been driving the last 5 years,
right.
And we're stoked to be a part of his program with Monster those 5 years. But we definitely needed to move on to the future, so we parted way in good terms. Everyone wonders, are you and Cameron still friends?
I wanted to get that out on the podcast, because let's just clear that shit out. There, you guys are still talking and everything's good.
Yeah, he actually lives a half a mile from me, and I see him, quite a bit, and everything's good. We
right on.
We have a mutual understanding of we needed to go the next step. I'm actually the person who not got him. I knew he was looking for a car, and Jordan Pellegrino's car came up for sale, and it was kind of a hush deal that it was for sale. And like, well, I know a guy, Craig Allen, who likes to buy every car out there, and it was for a good. So I'm like, oh, Craig, you ought to go purchase the Jordan Pellegrino car, since you like to own everything, everything and sell everything. And then a lot of times he rebuys it and then sells it again. But so shout out to Craig, Juicy Whip. He's my friend, and I love Craig.
Craig's great.
And he bought it, and then he wasn't going to race it. I'm like, okay, well, if he's not going to race it, I know Cameron's looking for a car. Maybe Cameron will rent it from Craig. So Cameron reached out to Craig. They worked a deal, and he'll be running the Pellegrino car at this year's King of the Hammers.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow, that's
awesome.
cool.
So he's still in a car and doing his thing out there, and it'll be very competitive. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, those cars, you have to be. It's like I say it's like a woman, right? I mean, you can't go beat the shit out of her and think she's gonna live, right? I mean,
that's a great analogy.
I mean, I don't know if that makes. I mean, or I look at all my cars as women, right? I name them. That's just, you got to be gentle and kind and caress and massage and if you want to get to the finish line.
And this is why we have the explicit label, because everybody's getting horny now.
That's internet gold right there. That's perfect. Well, let's talk about that car a little bit, because it's a spaceship. It's in the spaceship category here on the lake bed. One of a few that, arguably one of the most equipped cars on the lake bed. And I know you guys have been fighting through some new car blues, crazy new cutting edge technology, but this might be the year.
Every year is the year, right?
Right.
I mean, you have to have a fully prepped car, which we do. You have to have a good driver, good co-driver, and you have to have a good car and a good team. And this year we switched to Dan Fresh, who will be driving the 4800, 4400 with Mike Johnson, who is who has raced this race. Actually, Dan, I got to give credit to. He's won King of the Hammers, I believe, like 5 times. Not in the 4400 class, in the EMC and other classes. So he knows how to win. Number one,
right,
in the rocks. And number 2, he's very good on equipment. In this car, you have to
Gotta coddle it.
And this year's
talk nice to it.
This year, from what I understand, is a rock year. They are not doing. There's no bypasses.
Yeah. So what do you, this third lap mystery freaking lap? What are you thinking about all that?
I'm more worried about second lap. I mean,
Really?
we know what second lap is going to be, and there's going to be winching, multiple winching, to get through it. So do you want to be in the front of the pack, the rear of the pack? Are there going to be bottlenecks or not?
Right.
You know, the single-seater guys, what are they going to do? Are they going to pull it out of their ass and have crew people out there helping them winch? I don't know. But my thought is a single seat will not win this year.
Okay.
I hope our team wins. We definitely have a tall order to win. But from what I'm seeing, is this released after King of the Hammers?
This is going to be next Tuesday. This is going to be before King of the Hammers.
Oh, well,
Tuesday coming
Tuesday,
out. This is
48
Sunday.
hours. Okay. Oh,
Or we
okay.
can release it after. It's
Well,
up
I don't
to
want to
you.
jinx our team or anything, but I'm happy that we get across the finish line and we'll finish well. I hope we can win, but in my just common sense, it could be a solid axle year. It's going to be a lot of rocks. There isn't a lot of desert, and they're keeping you in the rocks, so the IFS guys can't bypass the rocks. So it's going to be interesting. Do I think someone's going to be in before dark?
We always say that.
I don't know. From what my team's telling me, it is going to be. There's not going to be a lot of people finishing. There's going to be a lot of rocks, and you never know what Dave Cole's going to throw at it. I mean, he changes the course on a whim. Not on a whim. I shouldn't say that. It seemed like the course changes, and you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, the course evolves, of course. See what I did there? But anyway, I mean, to think about, you mentioned the number of cars that may or may not finish. I mean, obviously, attrition rate of these cars, because they get beat on. Some of them don't even make it the first lap. Some of them get broken down in the second lap. But I don't remember the exact numbers of how many cars finished last year that actually finished in time. I think it was definitely less than 50% of the cars that started.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well, back in the day, it used to be like 20%.
Yeah.
And that's when there was, to me, more rocks than there are today. And it seems like over the years that the rocks have gone away because everyone bypasses them because they couldn't regulate it. But from what I understand
King
now,
of the bypasses.
with the VCPs, and I guess they got another something CP, and they're very accurate, and you have to be in the rocks. If not, you're going to get penalized, and it could cost you.
Yeah.
time penalty for sure. So
in lap 3 being released at like Thursday night or something, they're saying now?
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
That's a mystery.
I talked to Dave Cole about it. I'm like, okay, so let me make sure I understand this. You're going to give us the third lap on Thursday night. And I said, can I go pre-run Thursday night, Friday morning?
Sure.
And he was like, well, I haven't really thought about that part. So I do we get to go pre-run the third lap? I don't know. Do we you're just going to wing it? And then I'm like, on your pre-show, you said that third lap, there'll probably be 20 rollovers. So now I'm concerned about the safety of my crew, my driver and my co-driver. Oh, well, those are going to just, I mean, you could roll in turkey claw. Like, I got that, Dave. I'm not, don't get mad. Everything's good, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get an understanding of what
How severe is this?
Yeah, I mean, we're putting hundreds and thousands of dollars into this program, and not to know third lap except for 36 hours before the race, it's we got anxiety, man.
Sure.
I mean, we're sitting here like, what's it going to be? So it can't be too hard. I mean, I guess the other part is all the trails are pretty much played out. I mean, everyone's done the trails over the last 19 years. The rocks are the rocks. And I know he was talking about adding some new stuff, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the best we could do. Hopefully, there's a fair advantage. That was the other part is what about the leaks? Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh well, there will be leaks. There'll be a lot of leaks. I'm like,
thanks. Okay. Can I be part of that leak thread? That text stream?
Yeah. So it's just it's all good. I mean, I understand why he's doing it, and I appreciate the way of going about it. But if you're supposed to do a race pace third lap, and you don't know where the trails are, or where the connection routes are, or where to go, I mean, you got to go at you can't go at race pace. I mean, you're gonna have to go at a precaution, especially if you come down to trail and there's a 10-foot drop, or say someone's dropped in the hold. How do you know how to get around them, or you can get over them, or whatnot? Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of what ifs, but I understand why he's doing it. I think it's kind of cool, but I don't know. I look at the gap jump that they had on the infield. I think that's really cool, but I saw 3 cars nosedive
auger
into it, and did they not pre-run? Did they not get the practice how fast they have to go off the jump? Did they know there was a bypass?
Right.
It just seemed, and there's a lot of. I love all the great creative ideas. It's just
Safety plays a factor.
safety does play a factor, 100%.
An interesting point you brought up too, as a team owner, of like, hey, I'm concerned for the safety for my team, and I don't want to throw them into a situation that none of us know what's going on, right? And there's you're very calculated. Your team is obviously, and has done. This isn't your first rodeo, so it takes that. I mean, there's so much guesswork now into that lap 3, and how do you prepare for that? And it's not a comfortable position as a team owner or driver or any of that.
And that's another part is I know over the years that sorry to interrupt, over the years that, you go do lap 2 and then you're like, oh, what about this? And then they like, oh yeah, we should probably change that. So no one's done lap 3. You hope the file's 100% and there's no gray areas.
Right.
So it's just a lot of what ifs.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see how the whole thing goes. I hope it goes well.
Yeah. And the other thing, do they say what the total mileage of the race is, and so you can kind of extrapolate?
I think around 200. I think.
Yeah, we're in that 200, just over 200.
The mileage for lap 1 and 2 are known, so you can kind of figure out what the lap 3 mileage is. So,
but still, you don't know where.
You don't know where, but I mean, you just need to make sure you have enough fuel and consumables on board to last, I guess.
Well, and then from a safety standpoint, I mean, there's some wicked trails out here, some big rocks that move, especially if it's a trail that hasn't been traveled a lot. It's not
Medusa
worn in. Yeah, like Medusa and Bigfoot last year that nobody ran. A few people ran it during practice, but it wasn't part of the race, or it was an option, and obviously they stayed out there. But it's like, what if he cuts some new trail on a side hill that's totally virgin that nobody's ever been on? I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Hey, it might be called the hammers of the winchings, or the winching of the hammers. I mean, whoever could winch the best or
be
whatnot.
A giggle pin there in Europe where it's a winch fest, right?
Yep.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, from a fan standpoint, that's been following it for years. I mean, the last few years, it's going to be the hardest race. No, it's not that hard. People are finishing at 2:30. Cars are coming into camp or 1:30, whatever it was. And so I get making it harder, but there is that safety aspect of like, dude, let's not get hanging off a cliff where there's high consequence if you fall off or whatever, right? As well built as these cars are and all the safety that's built into them, but still, we don't need to be.
It's all about the safety. I looked out my window last night and saw Chocolate Thunder popping, and and I'm just like, I had CHP blow through my gate trying to get the Chocolate Thunder.
Oh no!
And they're doing circles on my property. It's like, if you would have stopped at the gate, you would have known you can't get the Chocolate Thunder through my property. So I think it's cool. I think it's great that everyone comes out here, but no one should get hurt.
No.
Everyone, the flags are a huge asset. I think that was a great thing it really should be required to have flags on public land, in my opinion. They do it up in Sand Hollow, and I thought it was stupid how do we put a fucking flag on? But, actually now thinking about it, if it can save someone's life, it's worth doing.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
When I heard again, I don't want to go on a Dave rant, and hopefully I don't get any backlash from this, but
fine.
I heard on the thing that they're not going to put up
a Chocolate Thunder
snow fence on Chocolate Thunder. It's like, okay, well, the crowd are like cattle, right? I mean, they don't,
exactly
and especially after they've been drinking all day.
Oh yeah.
And there's a kid that might want to go touch a race car.
Yeah.
This isn't Mexico. This is you got to put up a fence.
Right.
Oh, everyone should know. I'm like, no, that's not. You don't go to a stadium and watch monster trucks and not have a barrier, right? I mean, or go to Supercross or go to any event.
True.
Right.
You have to have a barrier. I mean, there's a reason why you have a barrier other places.
Right.
You should have it at Chocolate Thunder. So. Yeah, so let's move on.
Yeah, I haven't been out. I haven't even seen Chocolate Thunder yet, and I don't plan on going out there. So.
Hey, all right, I'd like to touch on a little bit your race program is badass. You're super involved. You're obviously the money man. You pay all the bills. But what's your involvement? I mean, are you like the Jerry Jones of your team, or do you like?
Who's Jerry Jones?
Yeah, who's Jerry Jones?
Jerry Jones is the owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, there you go.
He's always he's super involved.
I'm not that old yet, so that's I'm getting there. I would say I'm involved, but I'm not. So it's like running a company, right? You know, you have to have people, and ideally people that are smarter than you, which I've learned in life that if you hire or associate yourself with people that are actually smarter than you learn more. And a lot of people, they have egos and they can't do that. But, you know, with the crew that I have, they're great people and they are smarter than me and they're great at what they do. So I hire the right people or bring on people that can fit that. You know, like back in the day when I gave up my driving, that was another ego thing, right? A lot of people wouldn't say that, hey, I can't win King of the Hammers. You know, our goal is to win King of the Hammers,
right?
You know, or finish, whatever. You know, we have to have a goal, right?
Yeah.
So I would say I'm heavily involved, looking from the outside in to make our race team what it is and what we can do. I mean, we only do really one race a year with the King of the Hammers stuff or the Ultra 4 series, because I think this is the biggest race of the year and the most exposure and all that. And it would be cool to see our team be on top.
So what's race day like then? I mean, you fist pump your team and then you come into the house and you watch it, or you...
It's quite interesting, actually. Not interesting, but I wake up, I hear my race car leave. I cry for a little bit. No, I actually wake up and I don't go to. I used to go to the starting line and all that. I'm an introvert, so I don't really. I love people, right? I
obviously,
but I don't. So I don't. It's. I'll wake up, have my wife will make me breakfast if I haven't pissed her off, which I haven't pissed her off in a while, so that's good. And I'll put the TV on and watch the start of the race. I can hear the car with the radios, and I also have the tracker on the computer. So I'm just not managing. I used to manage it, but I've told the team, you guys got this. I don't need to make decisions. If the car breaks down, if you can fix it, keep going. Last year, I actually would have probably made a different decision, which I've let my team know this year, this is what we're doing. So last year, the car had an issue in the desert, and they limped it back to main pit. Well, they opted not to go down Resolution or back door because they didn't want to be a trail tampon. So by doing that, they got back to pit and they were able to fix it. So once they fixed it, Cameron went to USAC to make sure what they wanted them to do. He said, hey, we have bypassed this trail. Do you want us to go back and do it? Or can we keep going? Or are we DNF'd? And they said, keep going. So to me, you weren't DNF'd. We kept going lap 2, lap 3. We actually would have got a top 20. But they then came back and said they DNF'd us. So I had to call USAC and talk to them. I'm like, do you guys understand? I mean, this car it's like $1,000 a mile to run this car. I mean, we destroyed our car when we could have just left it after running one lap. So they apologized, and if it was up to me, I probably would have said, go down Chocolathan. I don't care if you're a trail tampon. Yeah. We are going to keep moving forward. It was downhill. Yeah, you had to go uphill. Yeah. So, we have been a trail tampon 3 times. I won't say it again. But we on King's Veto, on King's Graveyard. You name it. We've been there, done that. But typically we were in the lead, so that was good. right. or in the top. So, yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, because I always wonder what an owner, the involvement. It's like. Do they some people be like, I'm just going to put my head in the sand and not be involved. I don't want to know until the very end, or they're involved. And so you're kind of in the middle there.
Or they micromanage the shit out of their team, and then pisses everybody off. Right?
Yeah, I definitely don't micromanage, or maybe my crew chief will say differently, but I feel I don't do that. And my job also is to get sponsors. So I do want to. I probably should thank a couple sponsors.
Yeah, let's do it now. Well, you brought it up.
So Lasernut Racing, definitely, I have to thank them.
Absolutely.
If it wasn't for my company and what we do and being part of the community and making cool parts, we wouldn't be doing this. Warren Winches has definitely stepped on board this year. I've been running their winches for 30 years, and actually another winch company was interested in helping us out. And Warren's always been good to me on whatever I needed, so I hit him up, and they're doing some more for us. I believe in their stuff, and I remember when I was 18, when I was able to afford my Warren winch, it was cool to put that on there, and I've always been a supporter there.
Loyal.
So Warren and Factory 55 with the recovery gear.
Oh yeah.
Torco has definitely stepped up this year too with their fuel. They've helped us out with fuel, their Torco fuel, and all their lubricants and stuff. So thanks, FK rod ends.
Oh yeah.
They've come on board with our rod ends. Dugan's engines. Ray is a great guy and helps us out with our engines, along with Rancho Engineering with our transmission. Great partners. It's really cool to be able to go dyno your engine. I was just looking at, he has a Lasertown sticker on his truck.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's cool. That's pretty
on the
cool.
big screen here.
Yeah. So what else do we got? We got
BFG.
now I got sidetracked. BFG, BF Goodrich Tires.
You've been with BFG forever.
Yeah, I've been loyal to them forever, even when they wouldn't help us out, and they actually help us out, and we actually have a development tire we'll be running this year at King of the Hammers,
cool.
which is a pretty cool tire. It should help with the desert and the rocks. Race line wheels, we went to them and we wanted our car is very wide, so we're able to get the offset bigger back space on the Raceline wheel, and that wheel, then we copper plate them and we make them look cool. And Raceline's been a huge hit. I actually hear that the owner's going to fly his helicopter in. I might take him out on the rocks for the first time on Wednesday, so that'd be kind of cool.
Oh, right on.
But I'm sure I left a few people out, but that's who I like to thank.
Right on. And so I mean, you started rock crawling.
Oh, Fox Shocks.
I was going to say, what about Fox Live Valve? Where we're talking
Fox
about Live Valve.
They've been huge. We actually made a Fox of Thrones chair down in Hammertown.
I saw that,
and it was really cool. They hit me up and like, hey, we got a bunch of scrap that they're going to throw away.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, send all your scrap to me, and what do you want to make? I don't know make something cool. So I'm like, well, what about a Game of Thrones or a Fox of Thrones chair? So we just put a bunch of stuff together and kind of made a cool chair for a cool photo op. So that was pretty cool.
That was very cool. Very cool. I saw some racers in that chair that aren't even Fox supporters.
Yeah. I got a picture.
Without naming names. They were on the podcast recently. Anyways, so I was going to say, racing, you've been competing for a long time, from, competitive rock crawling, and you've worked your game up, so to speak, to a lot of years. You raced bombers back in the day here at King of the Hammers, right? And then now to the race program you have with this, IFS, IRS, Live Valve spaceship. What else can you say about the car? You talked about sponsors and stuff, but any big changes from last year to this year?
The car is pretty much solid now. We've had some major changes. We did change the upper bulkhead that goes from the lower bulkhead up, because we did have some tie rods that were fatiguing the metal. So we did this really cool billet steel piece on the back end, which is really cool. Another thing we did, which is just cosmetic, but we wanted to give it a trophy truck look. So instead of a tire being angled down, it's angled up. So it looks really cool, and we were able to put more storage for stuff that we needed in the back of the car. But other than that, it's a fresh Dugan's build engine, fresh transmission. The whole thing has been rebuilt. So it's there. We got a car again. There's gonna be some rocks this year, so we'll see.
And Dan's been doing a lot of pre-running.
Oh yeah,
and Mike. So as long as everything, all the cards fall into place and stars align, could be podium time. Saturday.
That's our goal, to get some kind of podium. I have a Jimmy's 4x4 pre-runner, which Dan actually drove last year. He actually got second place, but with some penalties. Again, you got to know exactly where those VCPs are, or hopefully no one's in your way. He got some penalties, so he ended up with fifth place in this clapped out Jimmy's 4, and that's where I was like, damn, holy shit,
this guy can drive.
He can drive.
Yeah,
not one flat, never got out of the car, and got fifth place. That's
some mechanical sympathy.
Pretty cool.
For sure. Hey, let's change gears again for a moment. I know you have a lot of toys, and Lasertown's super cool. What's your? Do you have a personal wheeling rig right now that we haven't talked about?
Yeah, right now I think I've had it for about 3 years. Is an Ironman 2-seater trail rig, we'll call it. Jeff McKinley, Ironman built it, and I'd say that rig, out of all the rigs I've owned, is probably the most capable, coolest rig that I've ever had. I mean, I've had a lot of cars, Twisted Customs and Bombers and moon buggies and all this stuff, but that rig it works pretty darn good.
And it's got Starlink.
Yeah, I had a Starlink. I've never really used it, but it had. I put a Starlink on it. So yeah, I know. Yeah.
Stay connected on the internet. So we've been missing your Instagram post. Do you what you just get over it, or are you too busy?
I actually
What's going on?
I did one a couple weeks ago.
I know you did one a couple weeks ago. I watched that, but you were doing them like daily or every other day for sure.
It wasn't that much.
You were pretty damn often.
I don't know.
Every time I open my phone, hello Instagram.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it was always entertaining.
Yeah, I'll start. I don't know. I just kind of took a little break.
Yeah.
But like you say, you kind of miss that. I think about like Jason Shearer, I guess he's off social media because I don't know what he's doing or how he's doing it until actually I saw something on King of the Hammer feed where him and Jason Berger were doing CrossFit. So it was cool to actually see that they're doing well. But I think still social media is huge. One for sponsors and one for getting in your personal life and just showing stuff. Obviously don't ever show the bad stuff. You always show the good stuff. Yeah. But it's I don't know. I try to I'll start doing the Instagram a little bit more. But yeah, it's been a while for sure.
It's been a hot minute. But it was just, I don't know. It's just cool as fans, and then obviously you share a lot of the same views as most of us that are in the sport, so it's like, okay, what's Cody got to say today on the I-5 or whatever, the 15 heading to work, and
I do the stories. I do I said the stories is where I've been doing it. That's instead of doing the reels.
No, and that's good because the stories only last one day though, so if somebody misses it,
that's a good thing because there's some things
that you don't want out there that long.
That's truer words are never spoken.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so Lasertown has grown immensely here. How many fish you got in that koi pond now? And just everything is just, the trees are mature. You got there's a lot going on here. Did you ever? You had a vision, obviously, but you built it, the container home. But did you ever think it'd be where it is today with all this craziness?
No, not at all. And there was no plan. It was just, when it first started, it was I needed a canopy because I wasn't going to put up tents any long. So I did that. And then I wanted a house that could handle the elements out here and secure. So we did that, and then the pond, body of water, 300 fish are in there.
Oh my god!
They actually spawn every spring.
Are they really?
I don't know. Whenever they spawn, they spawn. But it's pretty cool because that fish wasn't there last year, and wow, that one had a baby with that one.
Yeah,
because it's pretty neat. We lost only one fish last year.
That's amazing.
That's crazy.
And everyone wonders, what about the weather? So they can handle. The koi, the large koi are from Japan.
Right.
So they get air freighted into the United States, and then they get quarantined for 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow.
And then they come to Lasertown in a box. And then you release them into the pond. But in the wintertime, they're pretty mellow because it's so cold, and you actually don't feed them.
Oh.
Because their metabolism slows down.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't get fed in the winter, and then when it starts warming up, I have an automatic feeder that feeds them, and they're like pigs. When that feeder goes, they're bumping each other trying to get the food. But no, they're doing great. The trees, we added more pine trees to Lasertown. Wanted more shade and kind of give it not such a barren look since there's no trees. Were the palm trees here last time?
No.
Yeah,
no, the only trees you had were right out in front here.
Okay.
Those were the only trees you had.
Yeah, we got a desert oasis out there with palm trees that we put in a circle. My ultimate goal was to do a lazy river, but it's just going to be too much with pumps and water and the wind. It'll just destroy it.
Oh, yeah. Keeping it clean.
So we'll just do the palm oasis out there. We did that. We acquired the other 40, so we have 80 acres now. And we built some really cool new gates to get in.
That was
Lasertown.
cool. Yeah, so that's why I came up to the back gate, and I'm like, oh, here, nope, that used to be the front gate, right?
And then we did the new 40 has like 10 foot berm. I mean, it's a massive berm. So that was
Moving
pretty.
some dirt.
Yeah, so that's about it, really. Oh, electrical. So we were off grid last time, and off grid, just so you know, is fucking stupid. It sounds really cool.
Sounds romantic.
Yeah, we're off grid. We're off grid. No, you have to deal with generators and solar panels and inverters and batteries. And the generator not starting, and it being a cloudy day, and then pulling too much power, and the oven taking too much. It is just dumb. So we it was pretty funny when I was trying to get the power. We had solar panels on the roof, and we went to go. Hey, we'd like to have them come pull the electrical, and they're like, oh well, you have panels on the roof, and they're not permitted. You need to take them off. I'm like, what? So you're not going to run the power until I get my unpermitted solar panels off my roof?
Yeah, where's the logic?
Yep, that's what we got to do. Like, okay. So we took the panels off the roof, and we decided to. We haven't done any panels yet. Eventually, I'll probably put a solar field in, but we use so much power. I did see that was okay. So yeah, we ran the power underground from the 40.
Okay,
the 40 had power. We ran it. I don't know, 3,600 feet. To Lasertown, might have been more than that. Maybe it was 4,800. It was a lot, but one, it wasn't cheap.
No.
I mean, but it was an investment, and we have 400 amps of power now.
Oh wow!
And it's freaking amazing. We actually went and did mini splits in the house, which I have a thing with noise because they don't make no noise, and it cools the house in the summer
really well.
And they work great in the winter. And then we actually on the house just improvements and things we've done. The roof has always leaked. So we underestimated a flat roof.
Okay.
And we tried to seal it with, tar and other things, and it just didn't work. And then I found a guy in Palm Desert to come out and do this foam insulation or foam thing. And we had rain not too long ago.
Lots of rain.
And it freaking not one leak. So that was huge.
Nice.
That is huge.
So our next is we're going to concrete the carport. And I want to make a airplane door for the carport.
Yeah.
Instead of doing a curtain and carpet.
Yeah.
But we'll plan on doing that. And I don't know. I think I need to. Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah. Well, and that, like you said, there's been no plan, so it's kind of like you get an idea, or somebody gives you an idea. You're like, okay, let's run with that. Let's figure this out. And it's cool. It's eclectic. It's definitely interesting.
Oh no, we got to walk around a little bit more when we wrap up for sure. So it's
take pictures. We got a new alien back there.
I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Fire breathing alien.
So, are you the artist that does all that stuff, or do you have somebody on
the
staff?
graffiti?
Yeah, the
sculptures.
So I guess I should explain that too, because a lot of people think I build them, right? Because I do metal.
Yeah, you do all this metal.
That's creative shit. That's like over the top creative shit.
Yeah.
So I buy those actually.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, they come from the Philippines.
And
they come from the Philippines, and they're all car parts. They're all
Exactly. I saw
recycled car parts
and stuff like that. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, the Califio, I believe, makes them. I saw their gallery in Vegas once, and I wanted the alien like 15 years ago, and I couldn't afford it, and because it was way too much money. So I acquired those two statues that are where it says Lasertown.
Yeah,
those were on a guy's yard at his Beverly Hills mansion, and he sold his mansion. And could you see those in a cool yard? And it was on Marketplace, and I was like, "Oh man, those are cool."
Facebook Marketplace.
I'll take those. So I got those, and then the Predator came up at a guy had it at a laser tag facility or something. So I got that for cheap, and then this Christmas I got my wife a really cool Christmas present. And like, well, shit, she gets that. I can at least get my cool alien. Right. So I bought myself a really cool Christmas present.
That's cool.
That I've always wanted.
There you go.
That's what we got. But the Califio, they make some really cool stuff, and it's all recycled stuff. That's
great.
They make stuff out of tires. They actually make a Game of Thrones chair out of tires. They'll exhibition. And they make this huge polar bear out of spark plugs.
Oh, really?
All spark plugs.
All spark plugs.
All spark plugs. And it's just some really cool stuff.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I mean,
Love it.
and so those are cool. And then you've got all those cactus that line the road coming in.
Cactus Way or Road or
Yeah,
whatever now.
we do make those.
Yeah? You do
We've sold a lot of cactuses. We make a 6 foot, 10 foot, 14 foot cactus. We make the Joshua trees or yucca trees or whatever you call them. They're out there also, and we started making a palm tree, and I think we make an agave. We're getting ready to make. So I need to diversify. And by diversifying, I was thinking might as well make yard art, right?
Sure.
I guess I sell these cactuses in Costco now, from what I hear.
Oh,
so
there you go.
So, yeah, I mean, we my goal is to go to all the nurseries and hopefully start selling them
That'd
to
be cool.
them and have people, because California, water's
Xeriscape.
Yeah.
Looking for anything that doesn't need water and looks cool, and that fits the bill right there.
Yeah.
The other thing I got to ask about is that damn 20-foot frickin' oil burner you got out there, the smudge pod. How did that idea come about?
I don't know how it came about. I've always been in the smudge pots, but one year water was in one of my smudge pots, and my kids were little, and nothing happened.
Thank
but
God,
I was like, oh, dude, this thing's dangerous. We don't need to have smudge pots anymore. So I'm like, you know what? It'd be cool to make like a giant 20-foot tall smudge pot. So we built the smudge pot. It holds 250 gallons.
Holy mackerel.
And so I put 50 gallons in for my first test of diesel oil, and it burned in half an hour at full fire. Shit. And then I made the mistake.
Do that math. at California prices, $5.50 a gallon.
So I had the red dye diesel truck come and fill 250 gallons in it, and I lit it off because I wanted to see if I can close down the flute.
Regulate it.
Well,
Yeah, okay.
the flute or whatever is too high up, and I couldn't close it down. I even wrapped tinfoil around the air holes to suffocate
Choke
it. It didn't give a shit. So 250 gallons went up in 6 hours.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And the thing glows red.
Oh, I bet. I
It's-
saw the video of it.
It's bitching. Yeah. So,
Well, you're famous and very well known for your fire shows. I mean, you've got the
stack of pallets that's out there right now.
The annual bonfire that's usually on like the second to last day of.
yeah, it's all like the second or the last day. I was hoping to do it maybe tonight, but I don't know. I'm just not really. Yeah, I guess part of me does. I have a feeling I'm going to go to jail for some reason because we've had all these California fires, right?
Oh,
You know, and then people have PTSD and they see a fire and then they call authorities and like, what are you doing? All of a sudden, well, yeah, that's being irresponsible. So
Yeah.
I plan on having a fire for sure next weekend.
Okay.
I don't think we'll have one tonight,
Okay.
even though the wind is
It's calm, yeah.
So we'll see.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, for a self-proclaimed introvert, you're very giving and accommodating to people. It's very cool to see that. But yeah, I would expect you to just take this land and just stay out. Nobody come in, but it's super cool that you get to you share it with everybody, and you're very, very open with that. So that's very cool.
It's cool. It's really the only time I open it up. Other than that, I'll open it up to this was a really cool event. Small gathering where a bunch of women came in on motorcycles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Babes in the Dirt came in, and there was 500 women
Holy moly.
on motorcycles, so no men.
Sarah and Amber participated in that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Hannah. Yeah.
Maybe not 500, maybe 300. Anyways, there was a shitload of females at Lasertown, and it was really bitching.
That's
It
cool.
was
There
just
you
a
go.
really cool vibe, and it's not like they're going to do it next year, so that'll be really cool. And then we have Terra crew. They'll come in and they do like a movie theater sometimes, which is a cool, safe place to camp. Like I said,
Yeah.
it was cool watching kids run around. They still got another week. They come and they play and look at the koi fish and try to touch them. And I told my wife gets mad at me about this, but I said if anyone can grab a koi and hold it and take a picture, I'll give you $100 bill. So. It's pretty funny. I mean, we've had kids to adults to anyone trying to grab one of the fish and hold it, and they can't. They're so slippery.
Oh, yeah.
Even one was trying to grab it by its gills. I'm like, no, you can't grab it
can't
by
cheat
its
like that.
gill. So yeah,
It's cheating, man.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Well, you got anything else? I know your time is precious, and your phone's gone off a dozen times since we've been sitting here at your table. But what else you got?
I don't know. It's my birthday tomorrow. I'll be 40.
That's right. Birthday coming up.
49 years old.
49.
We are racing in the Ultra 3 class, and we're going for the win.
You are?
Yeah, I am not.
Okay.
I have a driver.
Okay. I have a driver. I'm team owner on an Ultra
And by
3.
the way, on the team owner, we built an Ultra 3 track here at Lasertown.
Oh, practice track.
So you got a
practice
little
track.
practice track going
Oh, yeah.
on.
Well, we got
added that this year. And so Tuesday night, this podcast is going to release Tuesday morning. So Tuesday night, go see Lasernut Racing Ultra 3.
Yeah, we got Devin Pierce. Probably biffed his last name. Pierce, whatever. Pierce. I think it's Pierce. Devin. He's gonna race it. I bought we call it the Red Rocket from Johnny Johnson, and the thing's 190 cc, and it's a ripper. It's scary. And he's going to give it all he got. So
I don't even have to ask, but it has copper wheels, I take it.
No.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, actually, I'm commissioning Johnny Johnson to build 2 with full suspension for my wife and I, these little 70s.
Okay.
And, yeah, they'll be blinged out in copper.
Okay.
For sure.
Nice.
Well, tomorrow the Ultra 3 crew is going to be cruising around Hammertown, and they come down here and make a quick visit. There's 150 trikes that come down Boone Road.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
Yeah. So that's very cool too.
But other than that, just working and enjoying my family. And I did a lot of traveling last year, so that was pretty fun with my wife. I mean, we went all over the place. I don't really like to travel, but actually it was kind of fun. I mean, we went to Germany and Japan and
You saw Rammstein?
Amsterdam. Oh yeah, we went to Germany just to see Rammstein. I call it Rammstein.
Rammstein.
And it was bitching, so that was cool. And we went all Iceland. We went to Iceland, so probably gonna do some traveling this year. Makes my wife happy, and she likes being with me, so I'll do that.
There you go.
And then Lasertown's kind of. I got to somehow get back in the rock crawling, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep with the desert race stuff.
Okay.
Because it's new and it's something we haven't done, and give that a shot. And then Coulter will drive the moon buggy, and we've got Dan driving the 4400, and rock crawling kind of on a hold right now. Just
Okay.
kind of on hold.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
You got to check out some new stuff,
Yeah, we I helped Johnny out. He's my friend. He just came out with the Rockabilly, which is a really cool trail car. Not the most extreme rock crawler like these guys are building, but a really good. You can do extreme trails. It's comfortable, large fuel cell, sexy because it has to be sexy.
Gotta be sexy.
It's really bitching. So we've been working, collaborating together on that and doing that. He did it. I take no credit for it. He did all
Johnny
the work.
Rocha.
Johnny Rocha.
Yeah.
Rockabilly.
Yeah.
He's been at our shop, and he's been a huge help with our race program also. So
Cool.
that's the other part. I got to shout out to Rodney Stowey. We wouldn't have the race program we have if it wasn't for him and being so heavily involved in what he does and how he does it. So that's been huge. And
Was that car sitting out in front of the Warren booth yesterday? Johnny's car?
it might have.
Right, it's a
Red?
red with
Yeah.
a candy, not candy. What do you call that? The metallic. It's not metallic. It's reflective.
It's
like a foil finish, but it's red foil. Or something. What do you call that?
It's like a chrome.
Yeah, it's like a chrome, like red chrome.
Red chrome or something.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that
that's
was his
it.
car. That thing's badass.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was badass.
Yeah.
That thing's sexy on
I
high.
didn't see that.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Well, that's cool. Well, awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time. It's great to have you back on the podcast. This is your third time on the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was episode 38 was the first one back in 2020.
2020.
Late 2020, October-ish, we had you and Randall on for Trail Hero. We were talking about rock crawling and the epic year you guys had taking the title that year. And then here we are, 2025 KOH.
Yeah.
Circling back with you. So appreciate it, man. It's
Yeah.
been
Well,
fun.
thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys and everything you do for the sport. And,
We're still here.
still cruising around. And,
Let's try not to make it another 5 years
Yeah.
before we visit.
hey, I'm here. As long as I don't roll over dead, I'll be here.
No, don't do that.
Sounds good.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, how do they get a hold of us?
Well, the best way to do it is to call us and leave a voicemail at 408-800-5169. That's again 408-800-5169. You can also leave Jason an email at jason@wheelingwinewhiskey.com. My email is chris@wheelingwinewhiskey.com. You can also check us out on the IG, which is @wheelingwinewhiskey. That's a great way to connect with us, and you can DM Jason. He's very quick to respond as long as we have internet. And
Right.
and don't forget about irate4x4.com. They're the people that host a great website. It used to be the old Pirate. It's all revamped and super cool now. We have an area there, watch, listen, and discuss, where you can see all of our past episodes. And there's a way on the right, on the far right, below our big logo, there's a way for you to throw a few shekels of dough at us to help defray some of the costs that the show incurs over time. And lastly, our website, wheelingwinewhiskey.com, where again you can see all of our past episodes and interact there too with us also. So yeah,
Very well done.
I try.
Honestly. All right. From Studio L, Lasertown.
Woo! We're out.